You know that God has called you to solve a problem. God has called every single person in this world to be a problem solver. We see it in the beginning, from the very beginning of creation in Genesis chapter 2. God says that the earth was already created, there's already plants, there's shrubs, and it says that it hadn't rained. And it hadn't rained because God didn't want any of the shrubs to grow yet. And he explains to his wife, he says there wasn't a man on the earth to cultivate the ground, to work the ground. God's called you to solve a problem for somebody. What are the problems that you're solving? God has placed gifts and talents inside of you, and those gifts and those talents are meant to be able to solve a problem for somebody. I was in China recently, and it was at night. I felt in my spirit like I should go out walking, and there's going to be somebody for me to minister to. So I asked a buddy of mine, 2 friends, hey, will y'all go with me? And so we went walking, and there was a girl that was sitting by herself. There was groups of people right there where we were at, but this girl was sitting by herself, and she was just crying. And you could tell that she was really hurt, whatever it was that she was going through. And I asked God, what can I tell this girl? Because I see that she's really hurt. And if I just go and just start talking to her about God, it's kind of like, you know what, I don't want to hear about your religion right now. So I thought, what can I tell her, God, that's going to be able to open her heart up to want to hear about Jesus? And I asked the Holy Spirit, and the Holy Spirit began to show me what to tell her. He began to give me the words to tell her to be able to solve a problem for her. She had a problem. There was an issue that was in her heart, and God gave me the resources to be able to solve that problem. So I began to tell her what the Holy Spirit is telling me, and just trusting that I'm hearing from the Holy Spirit, and began to say, you know what, this, and that. And we had our translator with us. And so she looks up at me, and it's like, wow, you're solving this problem for me. And all of a sudden her countenance completely changed. She was really, really happy, and begins to thank us. And then she begins to ask us, what are you doing here? And we begin to say, well, you know what, God's given us a heart and a love for China and for Chinese people, and he's given us a heart and a love for North Koreans. We're right there next to North Korea. And so, again, these big different things, because I was able to solve a problem for her, she was willing to listen to what I had to say. And then when she begins to find out that I have a love and compassion for her people, guess what? Her heart begins to open up even more. And it's like, I want to hear what you have to say. I really want to hear what you have to say now. And of course, I begin to minister her, and at the end we say, you know what? Would you like to ask Jesus Christ into your heart? And I let her know, I'm not asking you to come to join some club or some group. And I let her know, when I leave, he's going to stay here with you. He's going to send his Holy Spirit, and his Spirit is going to stay here with you. He'll never leave you or forsake you. And at the end of it, so excited, we prayed with her. She received Jesus into her heart. Again, we solved the problem for her. She was so excited. She said, can I please take a picture with y'all? And, it's like, yeah, cool. We're able to solve a problem. What problems are you solving? Whatever it is that God has placed inside of you, God has put it inside of you to be able to solve a problem for somebody. Those are keys to your future. The gifts and the talent that God has placed inside of you, when you begin to bring it out, every time you begin to bring it out, it's a key that unlocks a door to your future. Hey man, I'm Pastor Raul, Jungle Deuce. God bless.